It was less a question of if China would retaliate, but rather how. And the answer is here. The US has been told to close its consulate in Chengdu, raising the stakes yet further in this diplomatic standoff. The current situation in China-US relations is not what China wants, and the US is completely responsible for all of this. All of this includes the US imposing sanctions on Communist Party officials and companies linked to the mass detention of Uyghurs, and ordering China to shut its mission in Houston, citing concerns about espionage. The clear-out is underway. The president even floated the potential to cut diplomatic ties completely.
As far as closing additional embassies, it's always possible.
It marks the biggest fallout since Richard Nixon renewed relations in the 70s, when he extended the hand of friendship. All the more significant then that the US Secretary of State would head to the former Republican president's library to all but declare a new Cold War with the CCP.
The kind of engagement we've been pursuing has not brought the kind of change inside of China that President Nixon had hoped to induce. The truth is that our policies and those of other free nations resurrected China's failing economy only to see Beijing bite the international hands that were feeding it. We opened our arms to Chinese citizens only to see the Chinese Communist Party exploit our free and open society.
Back in 2017, when Donald Trump and Xi Jinping occasionally sparred over trade. Now they're even further apart. It may be a long time before they're rolling out the red carpet for each other again.
Journalist Matthias Böllinger is in Beijing for us. Matthias, how serious is this for relations between Beijing and Washington?
This is a retaliatory move. It has been announced from the very beginning. On Wednesday night, Tuesday night, the US ordered the consulate in Houston to be closed, and then it was China who announced the next day that it had been ordered to shut it down. They have said they would retaliate. Everybody was expecting they would close a consulate. Now it is clear which one it is. This is pretty much reciprocal. I would say the importance of this consulate in Chengdu is about proportionate to the consulate in Houston. It is not one of the regions where the main economic American activities are, but it's still very important also because it covers Tibet. The relations between the two countries are at an all-time low since they have established diplomatic relations in the end of the 1970s. This move is probably not going to help them, but it is also nothing that comes as a surprise. China has not chosen to do something that would further escalate the situation.
An expected move, but then why specifically the consulate in Chengdu, Matthias?
The consulate in Chengdu is somewhat, it's not one of the two most important consulates, but it is still an important consulate. It covers the southwest of China, that includes a big geographical region, also a densely populated region. People from there, American citizens, but also Chinese citizens who apply for visas, will now have to travel much further. There is also a political pun because this consulate was responsible also for covering Tibet for the US, and it has gained some kind of fame a few years ago when the head of the police department of Chongqing, who was then involved in a corruption scandal that eventually brought down the whole establishment of this city, fled to this consulate and spent 30 hours there. So this is a place that has quite a history.
Matthias Böllinger briefing us about that history from Beijing. Thank you so much.